talking about the Titans here. The Titans.
Swing and a drive, left field. It's gone. It's gone. It is bedlam at the bank.
The Philadelphia Phillies are 2008 World Champions of Baseball.
Podcast right here. You already know. Go fucking subscribe.
You are now listening to the 302 Birds Phillies postgame show with KJ McCoy, Jesse Sharon, Dalt, and Fratty. Proudly powered by TickPick. Check out the link in the bio for $10 off your first order today. Let's take it to the show.
What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome on into the Phillies postgame show. Phillies beat the Dodgers 10-7. It was a much more comfortable score earlier on in the ball game. The Phillies bullpen does what the Phillies bullpen does, but Trea Turner has one heck of a night. 2 home runs, 200 as in his 200 in his career, 3 for 5, 2 home runs, a double, 5 RBIs, 2 runs scored. But he also has 2 of the ugliest errors in the field I've ever seen. So, Friday, we'll start with Trea tonight. 200 career home runs. But that was a wild game from Trea tonight, wasn't it?
It's one of those rare games from a baseball player. He did a little bit of, it was a variety of things going on there. But I'll tell you what, last couple games he's starting to get a little bit hot in the second half. What's his name? Start with those 2 home runs. He just smoked those balls. Smoked them off of the Dodgers pitchers. It was crazy. I think the one off of Sheeran or whatever his name is, Sheeran. But anyway, Trea Turner looked great tonight out there, except for his fielding problems. He has to work on those fielding issues because it's going to hurt us in the postseason in the close games when we're not scoring many runs. He's got to start feeling baseballs better because in the long run it's gonna harm the Phillies in the long run. But luckily he saved us offensively tonight with those swinging the bat, getting 3 hits, getting 2 homers, a double in there. Yeah, Trea really carried the load. He had half of our RBIs tonight too, if you think about it. He really stepped up tonight big time for us. Made a difference in the game, and this is why we won the game by 3 runs, by 10-7. But it comes. Yeah, it was a little Griffin. It comes at a cost that this lineup. It's been a long time since we scored this many runs. I forgot what game. It's been weeks since we've had 10 runs in a game, but we were long overdue and much needed for a game, a offensive barrage like this. I didn't think after what happened yesterday, I did not expect us to do all this against the best team in baseball tonight, against the Los Angeles Dodgers. But for us to start on a good note, for Trea to do what he's doing, this was a good way to start the series versus a good Dodgers team. This was a big. I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna go as far as was one of the biggest wins for the Phillies all year. One of the biggest wins for the Phillies all year versus a good team, because you have to beat good teams like this. And I know it may not have been the prettiest way because our bullpen was awful. Mookie Betts even had 2 home runs tonight as well.
Yep.
But I'll tell you what. The Dodgers are still a good team. Wouldn't be surprised. The Dodgers take one this series, but I think that if the Phillies bullpen can clean things up, we can at least take one more game in the series. And if our offense steps towards at least 5 or 6 runs in one of the next 2 games, and is a little more consistent, because every time we do this, we only score like one or two couple of runs the next couple of games. But if our offense can be more consistent, then we could possibly at least win this series, which I'll be happy. I'll take winning 2 or 3 against the Dodgers, but be even sweeter if we swept them. But I'm not gonna be too greedy because I don't expect us to sweep them. I expect the Dodgers are hungry enough to beat us at least once in a series. So it kind of went. There was kind of an opposite, what you call an opposite little turnaround for the Phillies. They were like 500 on this homestand, but just got to carry it. Just got to keep going. Just got to carry it into tomorrow. It's that simple. You want to be in the big dance, you got to compete with the best because right now, while this is being filmed, I'm not really paying attention to that because I'm on post game. But right now, you got the Cardinals. The Cardinals are going to try to keep pace with the Phillies here. They're playing right now against the Angels, and the Phillies just got to keep the foot on the gas here because you got a good Cardinals team. You got a Cardinals team who's trying to stay a couple games within their heels, and we still haven't even played them yet this year. We got to play them 6 times next month. And I've already mentioned, I think yesterday, the other day, I'll be at that game next month with the 302 Birds chain, and it will be Schwarber versus hopefully Walker if they're both healthy by then, in a rematch of the Home Run Derby finals, pretty much, which should be fun to see who has a better night hitting that weekend, which that's going to be very fun next month. But anyways, focusing on the present, focusing on the LA Dodgers. Like I said, you got 2 more to go with them. Then you got the Judgeless Yankees coming in. But it's safe to say that this team, as much as I said they don't have no hope, they have the talent to win. It's if they want it. And the problem is, and I know, Jesse, no, yesterday I said I was going to mention about deadline. It's urgent. It's very urgent you get a bullpen arm because we have to settle with guys like Chase Sugar, who's inconsistent. He has one good outing and a couple bad outings in a row. That 1 or 2 good outings and another bad outing. He's like back and forth with this man. It's like, he's not good. Tanner Banks is too injury prone. Brad Keller's out for the year. You had Daniel Roberts. What happened to him? Was he hurt or something, Jesse? Or quote me on that.
I don't think he even made a roster spot on this team this year.
No, he was on the team very early in the season. He wasn't pitching bad, but I don't know if something happened to him. I don't know if we demoted him or I don't know what happened. And then you got that. You got McFarland coming in. I'm interested in. Let's get into that. Let's get into besides the deadline, then let's get into the new acquisitions coming in there. Let me say this. I'm very excited for Brian De La Cruz coming in here. KJ McCoy. The Exponential used to have to deal with this man. Used to be on the Miami Marlins before. And I'm going to go as far, right? I'm going to call this right now. What? I'm going to call this. I'm going to say this. I'm going to go as far. I predict that Brian De La Cruz hits a home run versus the Miami Marlins next week in Miami. It's going to happen in that series. Brian, the new guy, is going to get his feet wet with the Phillies after a while. And I'm going to tell you something. Brian De La Cruz, besides Rokons, and I don't know if Rokons, you got a dilemma there because you got Derek Hill. One of those guys is going to have to be sent back down. You got Brian. You're going to have Brian De La Cruz, who plays the outfield, right? He's playing the outfield.
Yep.
And you have a hard decision to make there. A hard decision to make with who should be sent down. And that's tough. Although I think the roster's expanded 2 more players. However, we probably can keep all 3 up in September. Because of rosters expanding from 25 to, I think, or 26 to 28. So there's a chance that even if Rokons gets sent back down somehow, then he can be back up here in about a month, almost. So it may not be a bad thing, having a dilemma, having a conflict, and all. But my question is, with us bringing up Brian De La Cruz, are the Phillies going to be too content at the deadline and not do anything else with the bats? That's my thing. That's the big what if what if right now. I think honestly, the Phillies need to focus more on pitching. More on pitching. We're starting to get a little idea here that they got the bats. They're capable. This lineup is capable of putting up runs, going on a barrage, and scoring runs. It's just we might get one more little bat, but and I know Billy keeps talking about a bat. But listen, Billy. I'm sorry to make or break it, but pitching is way more urgent right now. I think the Phillies, if Brian De La Cruz comes in there for this team and performs like he did in the minors this year, I saw his numbers. I don't know, it was 12 home runs, 56 RBIs or something this year. If he performs like he did with his previous years with other teams, not doing too bad, doing pretty decent, his average wasn't bad. He's not a horrible average. Phillies will be all right. Phillies will be all right with adding Brian De La Cruz, but that's my long rant on that. My long positive rant. I think this man's going to come out in here and do his thing. I have a feeling. I have a funny feeling this is going to work out here, and then maybe, fingers crossed, just maybe, but next year he can be our starting outfielder. Because I don't think Garcia is going to be back, and I don't know about Rokons. That's a big what if question, depending on what happens in the future. But we'll see. It's gonna be interesting. We don't have no clear starter, and then we got Johan Rojas. Johan Rojas is pretty much, his career with the Phillies might be toast now because of all this.
Yeah.
It's a shame. Such a good outfielder too. Took drugs. The rest was history. So.
Yeah. I mean, a little bit on De La Cruz. I just pulled up his stats real quick. He's been absolutely mashing in AAA. And granted, it's AAA, but he's got an 806 OPS, 269, almost 270, with 12 home runs. I say why not? Because we've seen what we've got out of Rincon is not exactly impressive. We've seen what we've gotten out of Derek Hill. That's been a positive spot. He hit a home run tonight. And everybody keeps talking about these right-handed bat issues. And I get it. But it's these little bats, it's these little moves that tend to make the difference in October. And what has the Phillies' problem been for years? Bullpen. You had a bullpen issue tonight. The Phillies actually had a solid chance to make this a easy win, but the Dodgers scored 3 runs in the 9th inning. And yes, I know it's the Dodgers, but what you got out of Alvarado tonight was not impressive. He might be hurt. I haven't been able to listen to the post-game press conference yet, but he, I think, did something to his toe in that in that ninth inning. And Sugar came in. Sugar blows it again. Chase Sugar. I don't want to see him throw another pitch on this baseball team ever again. 5.40 ERA in 28 games, 37 strikeouts, 1.33 WHIP, and in his last 7 games, he has an ERA over 12. 12. It is absolutely ridiculous, and especially with Keller gone, you need to stock up on bullpen arms. A name that I keep seeing out in fantasy land, in rumor land, is Luke Weaver from the New York Mets. A New York Met, you say? Yes, a New York Met. It was actually been very good this season. 2.03 ERA in 38 games. I don't know if the Phillies have the what do you call it? The wherewithal, the armor, the weaponry, the bullets to get this done. But I think it's a whole hell of a lot better if you don't have to target all three things, like a bat, like bullpen arms. Because I think you need multiple bullpen arms. I think you need some lefties in there too. And the starting pitching depth, that fifth starter role has been atrocious for the Phillies. We talked about that we've talked about it the last couple of shows. So if you really only have to get 2 or 3 things, that makes it a whole heck of a lot easier on your farm system and Dave Dombrowski to get it done. But don't do drugs. And KJ also comes here and says, McFarland is from St. Thomas, U.S. Virgin Islands, same place where my dog is from. Very interesting. Very interesting. But yeah, on McFarland, I think maybe even then that puts into consideration what you do at the deadline, because McFarland, I think he's really good. He pumps gas, and he has great numbers. So maybe you don't have to go and get a Luke Weaver. Maybe you just go and get those lefties, and think about putting the chips in for a fifth starter. I know Billy, man. If you look at our group chats, he's all in on Tarek Skubal. I'm not saying we go that far. I think that's a lot for a rental. But I don't know. If you just have to go realistically and just get a starter and a lefty reliever, I like that a lot. But I don't know. I don't know exactly where you go from here. But where do you think the Phillies should do?
I think the Phillies go out there and get a fifth starter. I don't think it's going to be as much as we hope it's going to be Skugel. I don't think it's going to be Tarek Skugel. It's going to be probably somebody who's on a crappy team, who's probably a mid, who's probably a starter, has an ERA of probably 3 or 4 something. Who's all right? Who's a decent pitcher, not as good as Sanchez, Luzardo, and other, good enough to be a fifth starter and good enough to get some quality starts for me from time to time, and not as bad as this pathetic bullpen stuff. I'm tired of this. The bullpen stuff we have. When we have a bullpen game, when we have all those guys, I posted that earlier. 5-19, ERA over 7. That is horrible. 19 of our losses, literally 1/3, almost close to half of our losses is from the fifth start, is from somebody who's starting in the fifth starter spot. It's pathetic. we have to do something. We have to have an actual fifth starter. I'm sick of it. The Phillies probably be in first place right now. Even probably be one of the best teams in baseball if we can have this. But it don't really. At this point, every time we're one of the better teams, we always choke. So maybe it's a good thing we're not as of right now. However, we're still maintaining the second wild card, and the Marlins are losing again. So right now the Astros 8-4. So we're gaining a little separation. The Marlins have been are on a big losing streak, which is good for us. But the Cardinals are winning right now 2-0. So, but as long as we stay within the top 6, we should be fine. Just the thing is, right now we would play the Chicago Cubs in the first round, in the wild card round. Was there a beatable team? Think about it. Not Padres. Cubs won last year. Never mind. Padres didn't beat the Cubs last year. If I'm not mistaken, right? No, Cubs lost, right? No, I'm wrong. Cubs beat San Diego both games last year in the wild card round.
Yeah.
So, but anyway, with that being said, yeah, that's all I have to say about that.
All right, guys. Well, that I think is going to wrap it up, actually, for tonight's show. Appreciate y'all for watching. We've been doing these longer episodes the last couple of days, and your boy just needs a little bit of a break, needs to get to bed, But, yeah, appreciate you all. Game 2 is tomorrow. Wheeler goes up against Wawrowski. Wawrowski comes in with a 2.69 ERA. Wheeler, he's Wheeler. He comes in 10-1, 2.13 ERA. Just fantastic stuff. So we'll see you for post game after that one. Should be a fantastic pitching matchup. But we'll see. But thank you to TickPick for sponsoring tonight's stream. Thank you, Friday, for coming on. And thank you all for watching. Please, if you haven't already, go like, comment, and subscribe to 302 Birds. And we'll see you tomorrow night. Let's go, Phil.
The Vikings.
Swing and a drive, left field. It's gone! And it's gone! It is Bedlam at the bank!
The Philadelphia Phillies are 2008 World Champions of Baseball.
Podcast right here. You already know. Go fucking subscribe.
You are now listening to the 302 Birds Phillies postgame show. Proudly powered by TickPick. Check out the link in the bio for $10 off your first order today.